back to another action-packed episode of Comic Confidential. I'm your host, Cade Moyer, and alongside me today is my Dick Grayson. And that's Troy Spinner.
It's my dick.
It's my
My
dick.
dick grey, son.
My dick is great. I had to go
You
to the
should
doctor.
probably get that checked out.
Yeah.
That is me. I am Troy. I got a regular colored dick, I guess.
Do you?
I don't know what a regular one looks like. Pinkish. Yeah. So thanks for having me, I guess.
No worries. I've just created a new character. There's Dead Man, and now I've got Dead Dick.
Dead man and dead dick.
Yep.
What's Dead Dick's powers? He just throws dead dicks at people.
Yeah.
He like stops crime by throwing dead dicks at people, and like when they're running, it's like a banana peel. They just slip on dead dicks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
What's his catchphrase though? Because every good hero has a catchphrase.
Yeah, it's like you just got dicked. Is that a catchphrase?
Well, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just got dicked. I like it.
Nice.
All right. So if somebody can write that up, create that, make
That'll be
that
amazing.
Give us like writers credits. That'd be great.
You're welcome.
The Adventures of Dead Dick and his sidekick, Titty Twister, coming soon.
Wow.
Yeah. I just made that up on the spot.
I couldn't tell.
What's been going on, man?
This has been a super crazy week, mate.
Yeah. Do you ever have a week that is just like, oh, man, I had the most chill week in the history of weeks?
I cannot remember a time when I had a chilled week.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the most active person in the world while still being the most obese person in the world.
Yeah. And never actually accomplishing anything like of any great sort of,
Yeah.
I mean, no offense, but I'm the
you're
same.
spot
yeah,
on.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? There's like you throw all this work out there just for like just average life back.
Yeah.
It's like, thank you, universe.
I feel like I'm putting so much out, but there's like nothing.
The universe
back.
is just pissing on you.
Yeah.
Basically.
It's a whole lot of take, not a lot of give.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking universe.
Yeah, fuck that motherfucker.
Jesus. We have a big week in news, which
Yes,
is
we
good. We've got a lot to cover over. More importantly than that, our second episode this week is going to be fucking fantastic. And you know why it's going to be fantastic?
Troy, there's like a tone in your voice that I have not heard.
You've never heard this before because I have never gotten to speak about Game of Thrones before. And that's right. Our midweek episode is going to be a full season wrap of the season 7 of Game of Thrones, and it's going to be me and a very special guest. Who's that? Don't know. Is it Amy? Probably.
Well, I think she might be the only other person, I guess, in this network now that we've got going.
Yeah.
That does that.
Yeah.
That watches that show. Well,
Yeah.
I guess Kirsten also watches Game of Thrones.
She does, but we can get Amy, in person, in
Yeah.
the flesh, sitting on the comfy chair over there, rather than some robot voice over the computer. It's like a real human voice, but
Yeah.
it's basically Skynet.
So Kirsten is really a computer.
She's basically Skynet.
Yeah.
Like dead set.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah. So, I'm very excited about that. Hopefully you guys will like the episode. Man, I went balls deep on season 7.
Man, it was just the nuts hanging out.
Just nuts hanging out. Let's get balls deep into some news though.
Let's go.
Okay. So the first official image from season 2 of Luke Cage has been revealed, and it shows Misty Knight sporting a brand new bionic arm after she lost her real one at the end of The Defenders. What do you think about this look, man? You've seen the image.
I have. I think it's very practical for TV.
Yeah.
It looks like it's almost...
Like she's a war veteran.
yes, that's
And-
exactly it.
Yeah, and she's just sporting a prosthetic.
Exactly.
Yeah. It doesn't necessarily look like anything, crazy fantastic. I would wonder whether they were going to do anything in post-production to make it like a little bit more fancy.
More like Winter Soldier, like finesse.
Yeah, maybe. But we'll see. I reckon. I probably believe that that's the finished product.
Yeah, and I don't mind it. I think it looks good. I do have one concern, though.
What's that?
And this is only a practicality thing.
Okay.
Now, we see that if you take a lot of notice of the image, which I did because, I do these things.
I zoomed right in.
I look at it, and I
Yeah.
zoom in, and I expect the pixel by pixel.
You were goddamn looking at the titties, weren't you?
I was.
You were looking at the titties.
I was looking at the titties, but then when I was looking at the titties, I did notice that this bionic arm seems to have like this little, I guess, patch
Yeah.
come out of it.
Yeah.
And it's just stuck onto, I guess, which would be her little nub now.
I don't. Is it? Is it wrong to say nub?
I don't. Is it a nub? No, I'm saying nub because, like, when it's a leg, it's a stump.
Okay, so wouldn't it just still be a stump?
No, because unless she's doing handstands and her hands and arms were her main form of transport.
Well, I guess like a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Like if a tree did handstands.
exactly.
A limb. There you go.
So yeah, I'm saying it's a little nub.
Yep.
And I have so many things I want to say about this, but like I don't know if it would be degrading to
insensitive.
insensitive to the nub nation.
Yeah. Nub Nation.
The Nub Nation.
It's
But
like a sporting group or something, you know?
absolutely. I'm a professional nubber.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I feel like that little patch that probably like obviously connects to her brainwaves.
Yeah.
I feel like if that got sweaty, it could fall off and she could lose control of this arm.
Well, yeah. I mean, you would have to assume that it's actually implanted into the arm itself.
You would think so, but I would feel like they should have a better system for that. Like
Yeah.
you have this fantastic piece of technology hanging off your nub, but there's one little cable like just exposed.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Speaking of technology,
Yeah.
who made it? Stark, Hammertech, or is it something that Rand Industries has whipped up, even though we've never really heard them talking about doing tech? But, you know, there was that whole connection, you know, that he owns the hospital and all that sort of stuff. You know, so he's obviously going to look after her. So just as a quick throwaway, who do you think? Stark, Hammertech, Rand Industries, who made it?
Hammertech.
Hammertech.
Hammertech, because it seems like Netflix has got the rights to say that.
Yeah.
So I'm going with that.
The only reason I won't say Hammertech is because I kind of feel like they are like almost the villainous kind of, you know, like military tech industry.
I think that's exactly why it will be, because I think they'll do a bust on a Hammertech facility. Luke Cage will find this bad boy and it'll be like, oh, damn.
I know a friend who needs an arm.
Yeah. Wow. It just happens to be the perfect fit.
Damn, it needs a
perfect length.
hand. There was a joke in there and I missed it.
You know what, mate? There's enough hand talk with Danny Rand and the hand.
Yep.
Oh, man. I'm just sick of that.
All right, and I do apologize if we are being incredibly insensitive to people who have suffered amputation of any limbs. But yeah, I don't believe it'll be Hammertech. I like where you're going with that, though. I'm going to say Rand Industries. It's going to be that. It won't be Stark Industries like it is in the comics, which I think would be the best, but I really don't think it's going to happen.
No chance.
No chance. In a move rarely seen in Hollywood, Deadpool star Ed Skrein has released a statement announcing his exit from the Hellboy reboot and his role of Major Ben Daimio after yet another bout of Hollywood whitewashing controversy. Skrein said on Twitter that he took the part without understanding the character was of mixed Asian heritage, and that it is important to understand and respect the fact that representing the character in a culturally accurate way is important to a lot of people. He also went on to say that neglecting this responsibility would continue a worrying tendency to obscure ethnic minority stories, and with that, he has chosen to step aside. Lionsgate has released a statement fully supporting Skrein's moves and says it will look to recast the part with an actor more consistent with the character in the source material. Now, got to give big claps to Ed for this one.
Well, do you? Because is it almost a little bit naive on his half not to do this little bit of research?
Well, I think it's too far before that point. Like, it's kind of like, you know, it's, hey, do you want to roll in Hellboy? We've got this part. It's this. Perhaps when they were, like, kind of explaining the part to him, they didn't exactly explain the heritage of the character.
Okay,
that's
fair.
Generally what he is going to do in this movie. And this guy's gone, Hellboy fucking reboot. Hell yes.
Count me in.
Yeah.
And then it's being explained, oh, by the way, it's X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, so when he's actually started to do his research and has seen all the things popping up online and all that sort of stuff, that's kind of when he's gone, actually, you know what, you know, I need to take a stance on this and I need to step away. And I think it's fantastic.
It's very brave of him.
It's massively brave.
Because we had one of our listeners actually comment on the post that we put up about this, and he made a couple of statements which were very fantastic, in the sense that like he's now kind of put a target on his head as a troublemaker.
Yeah.
In Hollywood, which I didn't even think of, but that makes perfect sense. And like this is more of a deal than what most people actually realize.
Yeah, oh yeah, well and truly. Like this goes beyond Ed Skrein kind of going, you know, that part should be, you know, culturally represented in the right way. You know, I don't feel comfortable doing it. I think, you know, you need to go and find the right person, and I am going to step away. I'm going to step away from what potentially could be a massive movie. It could potentially be a massive paycheck for him as well. But on top of that, like you know, you're exactly right in the sense that like he has now potentially painted himself as a troublemaker in the eyes of like Hollywood producers and, you know, directors and all that sort of stuff who, you know, maybe don't necessarily care about that sort of thing as much as they'd like to lead you to believe. They just want, you know, the best actor for that. And they know, you know, Ed Skrein has been in Deadpool. You know, he's done a lot of stuff, but
he's
like,
going to bring in that money.
He's going to bring in that money.
And ultimately, that's what really all these, I guess, studios would ultimately care about.
Yeah.
I guess the whole whitewashing thing is a second, it's a sub-note.
Yeah.
To what might be, I guess, the main point of the films.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly it. I mean, you know, when you look at movies like Death Note and stuff like that, which have just come out on Netflix and has been surrounded by a whole bunch of whitewashing controversy, because they basically kept all the characters the same, kept the names the same, kept everything. They even, you know, touched on a little bit of like Japanese folklore and all that sort of stuff, and then basically just took it out of Asia, put it into Seattle, and gave it to a whole bunch of white kids. And basically diversified it by having one of the actors be African American.
Oh, mate, checks all the boxes, man.
It does. But they have copped a lot of shit for that, and, you know, probably rightfully so. And this is the thing that he's kind of saying. You know, he's kind of got like enough is enough. Like if this helps, if me stepping aside, like he's a good enough actor, he'll get a role. Like it's not really gonna hurt him that much, I don't think.
Do you think this will actually make a change in Hollywood?
I would hope so. Like I hope it sets the precedent for other actors to actually, you know, kind of like take a stance. To go, you know what, like this is like the people who are speaking, you know, on Twitter for once aren't full of shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they are actually making sense, and this should not be me in this role. It should be given to somebody who represents the minority better than I do. So hopefully, like, it leads to more people standing up.
Yeah, look, I'm with you. I hope it makes a difference, but I guess the pessimist in me just kind of thinks there's too much money to be made from movies like this, and everyone's out there really to make a buck.
That's true. Money does talk.
Money does talk.
Especially in Hollywood.
Exactly. So, you know, while I think it's a great gesture, will it make a difference? Maybe, maybe not. But, you know, I guess time will really tell on something like this.
You poor, pessimistic, skeptical bastard.
Hey, mate, I'm just real world.
Just real world. Just
I'm Worldstar.
Worldstar.com. Australian actor and Cairns local. This is pretty exciting.
Oh, this is big news for us.
Big news. Australian actor and Cairns local hero Brenton Thwaites from Pirates of the Caribbean 5 and Gods of Egypt has been cast as Dick Grayson, a.k.a. Nightwing, in the upcoming Greg Berlanti and Jeff Johns produced live-action Teen Titans series. In a statement, John said, Dick Grayson is one of the most important and iconic heroes in the DC universe, and it wasn't easy to find him, but we have. Brenton has the emotional depth, heart, danger, and physical presence of Batman's former protege and the Titans' future leader. We're extremely lucky he's chosen to bring his talents to this project and this character. Have we made it? As fellow Cairns locals, have we also kind of made it in Hollywood now?
Well, here, I'll let you know. I am just jumping onto our local newspaper's website.
Yeah.
And not one mention. So
typical.
How do you take that? Is that a surprise? No, because we have one of the most ridiculed newspapers in Australia.
Yes, we do. And look, on top of that, I mean, this guy's been doing this for a long time.
He has. He's actually no stranger to the, I guess, what is the silver screen?
Yeah.
What's the silver screen? Is that the big one? Or is that the gold screen? I don't know. We'll figure this out.
That's not a thing. Just say movies.
He's in movies, and he's also been in a couple
He's
of...
in TV as well.
He's in TV.
Yeah.
You know, he's across a couple of mediums.
He is a not a long-standing character, but he's been in Home and Away for quite some time. He also, as I mentioned, was in Gods of Egypt and Pirates of the Caribbean 5, and also Maleficent and a couple of other things that I've never heard of.
So he's kind of like done his duty to get this, really.
100%. But I will go on record to say right now, I have literally never seen this kid in anything because all of those movies I have never seen. So I don't actually know what he's like. I wish I could say we're like cousins, but I can't.
No. He might be someone that I reckon we might be able to get in contact with. I'm going to throw it out there and say he's a maybe.
He's a maybe. Look, he looks the part.
He does look the part.
And...
What's your concern on his age, though?
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, he is actually 28. So, you know, he hasn't necessarily been a teenager for quite some time. So I don't know, he has the look, though. It's kind of like one of those things where it's like, you know, where all the Dawson's Creek kids were like 30 and they were still playing 16-year-old like kids in high school and stuff like that. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
Except he could probably pull it off a little bit better.
He does. He looks very youthful.
He does. He looks youthful. He still looks like he could be in his early 20s at least.
Yes.
So I think he'll be fine. The physical aspect is what I'm not too sure of because this is... You know, this is a character that needs to be one of this could be like a whole DC version of Iron Fist all over again, where you've got yourself like a competent actor, but not necessarily the physical presence that you need.
Yeah,
and it becomes a problem when you start getting the fight scenes and all that sort of stuff. Because this is not a guy that wears a mask necessarily. It's basically just an eye mask, and that's all it is.
Mate,
so,
if that's good enough to hide Oliver Queen and Arrow.
He also wears a hood, remember?
Oh, it's the hair that usually gives people away, isn't it? Mm.
You know, that's when you can tell that's a stunt double. That hair is completely different.
Yeah.
Or it's like, that's dead set a wig that guy is wearing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that would be my concern. Now, again, it's hard for me to comment because I haven't seen anything that he's been in, but I have seen the guy, and I do, you know, obviously... I do the show, I do my research, reading into him, like he doesn't really have like that background or anything. So concerning, but I'm sure that Greg Berlanti and Jeff Johns will, you know, do what's right.
Hopefully. And you know what? If we get him in the suit and we get a lot of cuts in the action scenes,
yeah,
we could be fine, mate.
Yeah, but see, like, you know, this guy should definitely be on par with Daredevil. And in fact, if I remember correctly, when we were doing Marvel vs. DC, we actually did a Daredevil vs. Nightwing.
I think we did.
I think the majority win was to Daredevil. My point there is that he needs to be on that level. Like, they can't have this as some, like, shitty, you know, like, Legends of Tomorrow type fight scene or something like that. Like Damien Dark or some crap.
Yeah,
like,
I was about to say that because, like, we're kind of in that realm of, like, this is I think this is a CW show. Whether it's going to be connected or not in the first season is yet to be determined.
Yeah.
But when you kind of compare the fight scenes between Daredevil and, let's say, any of the Arrowverse,
yeah,
it's kind of chalk and cheese, really.
Oh, yeah, well and truly.
So, you know, don't have high hopes, really, for, like, his fighting abilities in this show. And that's not to say the character can't do it. It's to say that the network won't.
Yeah, exactly. But we will see. Time will tell. I mean, you know, we're not the type of guys that sit around and basically, you know, say things are going to be shit before they actually get them, unless your name is Marvel's Inhumans, and then there's probably a very good chance that is actually the case. But we don't. We usually, we try to hold our total judgment until we see the show, and that's what we're going to do here.
That's right,
100%. Now, Fox has released a new teaser trailer for Gotham Season 4. And with the 36-second clip featuring our first look at a brand new Scarecrow and baby Bruce Wayne finally donning a superhero costume of sorts. Now, are you at all hyped for Gotham Season 4? And what do you think of this costume?
Okay, look, mate, I have really got some mixed feelings on this.
Okay.
Scarecrow, like that little teaser there looked really amazing, and I'm like really, really hyped about that.
Same.
Like, I would love a whole season on Scarecrow.
But it's Gotham.
But it's Gotham.
So you'll get a 2-3 episode arc.
Exactly.
And then they'll write him off some ridiculous way.
Well, you know what they'll do? They do what they did with the Mad Hatter in the last season. Spoilers alert for the most recent season of Gotham.
If you haven't seen it yet, you're never going to. Face it.
Exactly. It doesn't even show. In Australia, you have to magic it, I think.
Yeah. Oh, no. Like, once the season finishes, you can pick up the season on Netflix. So people can go back now and watch season 3 of Gotham.
Right.
So you can go back and do it, and you might be making your way through. Fair enough. So, be careful. Spoilers abound.
Yeah, just maybe skip ahead a bit on this this news story. But what they did with him was, they kind of had him as a key element in, like, half episodes.
Yeah.
And maybe you got 2 or 3 episodes out of that character where his effect lingered on.
Yeah.
I reckon this will be very much the case with the Scarecrow. However, in saying that, like, there's enough to that character, and I guess enough, backstory about what the Scarecrow does with the fear toxin.
Yeah.
And that could actually play out really well across a whole season.
Well, now it is. It's just a quick glimpse.
It is
like
a quick
That's
glimpse.
all you really get to see. But I did the old freeze frame and, like, slowed it down and had a good look and all that sort of stuff. It actually looks not Gotham-like. It actually looks genuinely good.
It does.
Like, it could be, like, realistic. I'm not being stupid. I'm not taking the piss. I swear to God.
You're saying better than the Nolan movies?
Well, not necessarily, but it could be movie version worthy.
Absolutely.
From what you see in that. And you know that is not, unfortunately, going to be what you get from Gotham, more than likely. But it's enough to get me interested, to make me go, holy shit, like, if they, if that's just not one of their freaks of the week and they, revolve an entire season around that, or at least, like, a part of a season around that, then fuck yeah. But that they're going to do it around the Riddler, and they're going to do it around Penguin, and they're going to probably do it around Fish Mooney somehow.
They will shoehorn her in somewhere because, she's a Smith. She's got to be shown.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Now, I'm going to start talking about Bruce's suit here. This show really needs to give up on this whole, I guess, Batman feature.
Yep.
Because it is looking dog shit, and it's just a dog shit storyline. Like, I've hated the Bruce storyline from the whole start of Gotham, and, I'm not afraid to say that. It's, like, quite public knowledge to anyone who listens to this podcast.
Yeah, you hate baby Bruce Wayne.
I fucking hate baby Bruce Wayne. And, mate, this really pushed me over the edge. I was just like, what the fuck is this? This looks like a mixture between Steel, Shaq version,
yep,
and Nick Cage as
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Yeah. That's the comparisons I drew initially as well.
Yeah, it's really atrocious. Like, I thought Diggle, aka Spartan's helmet, was the worst thing I've seen on TV.
Helmet version 1,
Yeah.
even though Helmet version 2 wasn't that much better, really, was it?
Yeah, not really. This really takes the cake as the most dog shit outfit I've ever seen. I don't care if it's, suit 1. He doesn't need the suit yet.
Yeah.
Like, go, what they need to do? They need to fuck him off to go get his training to become Batman.
Look, we need, if they're going to do it, if that's what they're going to do, right? If they are really going to play this out, they need to do a time jump.
Absolutely.
And it needs to be a situation similar to what Nolan did, in the sense of, he disappears and he goes overseas, and, no one hears about him for like 5 years or something like that. And basically what he's doing while he's away is doing his training and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
They need to do that, and they need to come back with an actor that doesn't look like, unfortunately, a skinny 14-year-old kid. Not like a 14-year-old kid that is athletic and, gets out there and lifts some weights and does all that sort of stuff, but just a skinny 14-year-old kid.
This is the kind of kid who's sitting at home playing WoW every day.
But look, that's nothing against David Mazouz, right? But this is what they're trying to portray. And it's unfortunately not working. The only thing that I will say about this, like, I agree with you in the sense that I think the helmet looks ridiculous. Like, I know it's just a prototype and it's the first one, but, it dead set looks like he's about to go, to some weird S&M party and, just like bang some dudes or something like I don't know. It's like a gimp mask almost or some sort of thing.
That's exactly what it looks like.
But with it gives you this thing that we've been talking about like a lot lately, and that's the fact that he will be covered. And because he will be covered, you get the opportunity to bring in a stunt double, and then you can have what could appear to be realistic fight scenes or cool enough looking fight scenes. I really don't like this relationship that they have with him, and you can't call her Catwoman yet because she's 10, but Selena Kyle.
Yep.
And she looks like she is basically fighting alongside him in this as well. And like, yes, like I kind of understand what they're trying to do and all that sort of stuff, but for me personally, it just doesn't work. Like they're just two skinny looking kids that are just beating the crap out of everybody, and I can't buy it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's unbelievable, and I know that sounds ridiculous when we're talking about Gotham, a fake city, about a boy becoming Batman.
Yeah,
but at least make it kind of relatable, believable, that I would buy the story.
Yeah,
take Gotham back to being a cop show.
Yeah, like I stand by the statement we've made previously that if you remove this whole baby Bruce Wayne storyline from this whole thing, and you forget about Batman, and like that's not even a thing yet. Like nobody's even talking about that, and you just have this focused on Jim, and Bullock. Then that's your show.
Yeah,
like it's like it's a Law and Order version. Like it's a twisted Tim Burton-esque Law and Order with some crazy characters and some weird happenings, but it's basically a police procedural. That's the way you do it. They're obviously never going to do it, and that's fine. But that's kind of why you've lost a couple of viewers, even though, unfortunately, I know for a fact that I'm going to go back and watch Gotham Season 4.
I'm going to go back. This is going to be my guilty pleasure. Actually, It was my guilty pleasure, I guess, last season it was on.
Yeah.
And it's going to be again this season.
Yeah, for sure.
My partner loves this show.
Really?
So there's no way that I'm going to not be watching it.
Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be right there with you, pal. And I'll probably still, tear my hair out and things like that as it goes along, but I'm there for the ride, whatever that ride may be.
Let's go.
You can call us a lot of things, but we'll give anything a chance. So, next, you ready to move on?
I think so.
Okay, let's move on. So, longtime Batman voice actor Kevin Conroy has expressed an interest in playing a live-action version of an older Bruce Wayne in a Batman Beyond movie. When asked in a recent interview if he would be interested in playing a live-action Batman, Conroy said, "Well, let's start writing a campaign before I get too old. It would be so much fun. No, at this point, it'd have to be Bruce Wayne in Batman Beyond or something like that." So what are your thoughts on Kevin Conroy portraying an older live-action Bruce Wayne? We've spoken about this type of thing before, with the old voice actors being they should be held separately to the live action components of them. So what do you think?
Man, this might be like a controversial statement.
I'm gonna put a big old trigger warning in front of this one right here, because this could upset quite a few people. I don't even know what you're gonna say, but I've spent quite a lot of time with you over the years, and I know that you can be upsetting. So this could be anything.
Look, is it just me, or does it seem like Kevin Conroy is doing anything he can to try stay relevant?
Ouch.
Yeah, but kind of tell me I'm wrong, but he's kind of making a couple of statements that would anyone really care if you said this shit or not? Yeah. You're just saying this to kind of get out into the limelight a little bit more.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, yeah, I know Ben Affleck, but don't forget me. Yeah. I do the voice. Remember me?
Remember, I'm the original Batman. I have a feeling that maybe his contract with Warner Brothers is coming to an end.
And he's kind of, I don't know if they'd do that, but let's be honest, man. He is a fine voice actor. That's fine, right? And yes, he is a lot of people's favorite voice acted Batman and all that sort of stuff, and that's fine, right? And I get it, and he's done more than anybody else has, and that's amazing. But that's his craft. His craft is as a voice actor.
That's right.
I like. Okay, so I watched Justice League Dark, right?
Yep.
And that is Jason O'Mara. And Jason O'Mara is the Patriot from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And he has voiced Batman a couple of times.
Right, yes.
Did a good job.
Do you see him jumping in every news outlet trying to say, I'm going to do the next Batman?
Not so much that, but my point is more, if Kevin Conroy stopped doing Batman voice acting, would it be the end of the world?
Nope.
Right? But, you know, while we're in this position where we are, like, you know, if Ben Affleck were to step aside from being Batman, you've seen the shit that happens when that happens. So I don't think and I'm sorry, everyone. I know you like Kevin Conroy, all right? I know this is going to be probably some of the most controversial stuff we ever talk about. But, you know, the world would not end if Kevin Conroy was no longer Batman. I don't think he needs to be brought into any live-action movies or anything like that.
No, not at all.
I know he's probably just saying it like it would be fun, and he's not actually trying to petition for a role or anything like that. But unfortunately, physically, he doesn't look the part. Like, even as an older Batman, he doesn't look the part. If you look at an older Bruce Wayne in any of the animated movies that there is an older Bruce Wayne, that dude is old but jacked as fuck.
Oi, if anything, he looks like an older version of the fucking Joker.
Yeah.
Get him. Here's the thing. If you want to get live action so bad, Kevin Conroy, you be a live action old ass motherfucking Joker and get Mark Hamill to dub over you.
Do that. Look.
I'll fucking pay triple of a normal movie ticket price to see that.
Yeah.
And then you can shut the fuck up and then just disappear.
Look, I do like Kevin Conroy. And I know it sounds like I don't.
No, you hate him.
Like I'm on some campaign against Kevin Conroy. But the fact of the matter is, like, you know, I'm just going to go on record and say it. Like, I am sick of voice actors believing that they could do as good a job as a live action actor. I'm sick of people agreeing that voice actors could do as good a job as the live action people that are portraying them.
Well,
I
here's
am
the thing.
sorry. You need the physicality. You need the presence. You need the ability to act as a human. Like, you know, it goes more than voice acting. I'm not necessarily saying that he's not good at his craft, because he fucking is. There's absolutely no bones about that whatsoever. But what I am saying is, like, you can't cross over. It's not going to happen. So stop. Everybody stop.
And you know what? If he was good enough, he would have done it already.
Exactly. And if anybody thought he would suit, they might have already offered him the part at some point.
That's right.
We love you, Kevin Conroy. Keep doing what you're doing, champ, because we love it.
Just stay in your lane, mate.
Just stay in your lane. Don't get too carried away or anything like that. Now, ready to move on?
Yes.
Excellent. So, it's fall in America, and what that means is that it is new TV schedule time. Oh yeah, all the premieres are coming. They start basically, all the big shows start in September, and they work their way through September, October, November.
Go on break for about 18 weeks.
Yep.
Come back for 2 more weeks, then go on break for another 4.
Exactly. But they start coming back in September. And because of that, we decided, hey, you want to know some premiere dates for September? We're going to tell you some goddamn premiere dates for September, because it's pretty exciting. So Fear the Walking Dead Season 3B, that's the second part of Season 3, I'm guessing, will return September 10. Gotham Season 4, as we spoke about before, will return September 21. Star Trek Discovery lands on September 24. And Marvel's Inhumans debuts on September 28. Now, what are you most excited for, Cade?
I am actually most excited for Star Trek.
Really?
This thing, it looks movie quality for TV.
It does look mint.
It does. It looks mint AF. Now, I think this is going to be the dark horse in the new series coming out.
Yeah.
We already kind of know. Well, yes, we know. We know that Inhumans is kind of a train wreck. And
well, the reviews have come out, and the reviews are kind of confirming everything that we've kind of already thought.
yeah,
And when you've got your actors coming out and trying to do damage control, and you've got your director and everything coming out and trying to do like some sort of damage control and that sort of thing as well. Like, that you have a product that's probably not going to work. And I don't know what it is about it that they have seemingly fucked up so royally. Hey. But they've done something, and it just doesn't seem to be working. But that's what I'm the most excited for, because I need to see
how bad
it is. It could be good. Like, I still want to go in there with hope that it's not going to be as bad as everybody is kind of making out. And this is just the same bullshit like that you get on the internet all the time, where they're just trying to get a story out of something that is a little bit shitty. But
I guess the Inhumans are Marvel's version of the DCEU.
Ooh, how?
How do you like that?
I don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when you're talking about these
clickbait.
Yeah, these news websites and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, to say the least, to see what it looks like, because it hasn't been pleasant, and the reviews that have come out basically say it's all sorts of bag of dicks, and that's not a good. I don't know. I mean, if you ever had like a bag of dicks just show up on your door, like, it's not like you're going to be excited. So that's a bad thing, by the way. Is kind of my point.
Yeah.
Star Trek Discovery, though, man, like, I am pumped. Like, I think like there are a lot of people that saying it's like, oh, this is continuing on J.J. Abrams' Star Trek, and it's not in the vein of the original and all that sort of stuff. Guess what? It doesn't have to be.
Exactly. Just enjoy things.
This is Star Trek for a new generation without being Star Trek: The Next Generation. This is for the people, effectively, that are Star Trek fans of old, but more importantly,
new.
Star Trek fans of new.
This
is going to be something that is going to help bridge the gap between both.
Could you imagine how geekdom was when you got these new series of Star Trek coming out? That's not my Star Trek.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I'm also going to go on record to say, look, while we're throwing trigger warnings out, this whole episode's a trigger warning.
That might be the episode title.
Triggered. I don't even really like the original series of Star Trek that much.
What? Either do I.
What? Give me Next Generation any day. It doesn't need to be like that. And this is like I said, it's Star Trek for a new generation. I think it's going to be great. And if you give it the chance and you don't kind of go in with these whole things like it's going to ruin my childhood and all that sort of stuff, you might enjoy it yourself as well. And that's the biggest thing that you've got to do. Just see it for what it is, and just understand that, hey, this is a new generation. This is the Star Trek for millennials.
Oh, what's this? That's old Star Trek, and that's still there, and I can still go and watch that?
Yeah.
What? I don't have to get angry at this new Star Trek that I don't have to watch if I don't want to?
What?
Because I can still go back and watch all my old favorite things?
I know, right? Imagine.
I'm sick of this. This is ridiculous. How dare you give me new entertainment?
Imagine we lived in a world where you could just go to your TV right now and just stream old episodes of your favorite shows and just never have to watch the new ones if you don't, and if it kind of like fucks with your entire being. Look, just get into it.
I hope we are making it crystal clear. Like, if you're hating, you are being ridiculous.
Yeah.
Stand your opinion without watching it. Like, make that your stand. Don't go on the internet and call other people fucking idiots.
Well, here's my thing, right? Here's my thing on the whole thing. Like, it is 100% okay, and we've said this before, and we went on a big thing about this with Lady Ghostbusters. It is okay to hate things, 100%, and it is okay to voice your opinion on what you hate. You have to give it a chance first, and you have to give it every chance to succeed before you decry the series or the movie or whatever it is.
Spot on.
Do you know what I mean? Give it a chance, and if you still hate it, tell us why you hate it. That's how you do it. You don't hate something that you've never seen because you think it's going to like take away from something that was 30 years ago. Don't be a fool, wrap your tool. That's how I'm going to finish that.
Wise advice.
That is going to do it, though. That's all the news we have for this week.
That was a very deep segment to end on.
It was a deep segment. Lots of trigger warnings. I do love it. Don't forget, midweek, maybe Amy, who knows, and I are going to be talking about Game of Thrones Season 7, so check that out. If you're a fan of all things wacky in Westeros, I think
we might get some new listeners just because we'll say Game of Thrones in the title.
And people will be like, what? And then they're going to realize that I'm just probably really going to be talking about the fact that Grey Worm, who is a eunuch, gets to have sex with someone, and I fucking love it. So that's the whole episode. So
diagrams and everything.
Yep, it's all on video. It's going to be up on YouTube, and it's just me pointing to a Ken doll, going, "This is what a eunuch looks like. How do they have sex?" And then it's just a picture of two scissors together.
Amazing.
So if that at all sounds interesting to you guys, that's what we're talking about later. Let's thank some people, man.
The listeners, subscribers, and reviewers. You guys are killing it lately.
Absolutely. And where can they find us on social media?
They can find us on Facebook. That's Comic Confidential Podcast. And if you want to join us in the listener community, you can absolutely do that. That's Comic Confidential Listener Community. Just search that in your little search bar, and you can come in there and talk about episodes with us. Anything, actually.
Anything. Doesn't even have to be comic related.
That's right. We also have a Twitter and an Instagram. Both of those can be found at ComicConPod.
That's right. And we also have a website, Cade.
That is ComicConPod.com. Past episodes, future episodes, and everything in between.
And we also have a Patreon account. That is patreon.com/ComicConPod. Make sure you jump on there. You can support the show for as little as $1 a month. That gets you early access to all these episodes. And, hey, also gets you early access to another show that we like to call Potterheads.
Potterheads. That's another show that is on the CCP network.
That's it.
That's it?
That's it. I'm done. I'm out.
Peace out.
Thanks for listening. As always, I'm Troy.
I'm Cade.
And this has been Comic Confidential.
Cheers.
Peace. Piece
Man.
of shit.
Hey.
You
know, now's the best time ever. Like, I'm doing like a, what do they call this? Like an after credits ad. Like,
after school special?
Yeah, after school special. You know, now's the best time to become a Patreon supporter.
Why is that?
Well, man, Potterheads is halfway through recording season 1.
Of how many seasons?
5? Is it 5? Is that 5 books?
You have a podcast called Potterheads, and you don't even know how many Harry Potter books there are.
Hey.
There's 7. God
Is there
damn
7?
you. There are 7 books.
Man.
That is insane. That's an insane amount of books.
You know how many episodes that's going to be? That's going to be like 400 episodes.
Well, the books get a lot longer
Yeah, they fucking
as
do.
the thing goes along. But yeah, there are 7 books. But yeah, season 1, man, nearly done. And it's going great guns so far.
Indeed.
What are you up to?
Patreon members are loving it.
And they're about to get episode 8 pretty soon.
Yes.
Coming up pretty soon. Which would be, I can't remember what the chapter's called, but that's okay. Whatever.
We'll find out when it comes out.
We will.
Man. And they're also going to get early access to the midweek episodes.
Yeah.
Like days. Literally like 5 days before it gets released, you will get all Comic Confidential episodes.
Look, I am not a guy that really likes to overly plug Patreon or anything like that. If you want to support the show, That's fantastic. I just want you to listen. Just listen. That's all I care about. And if you do go the extra mile, then I will shake your goddamn hand, pat your bum, whatever you want. But it is pretty amazing that we record on a Friday, and effectively they can have the entire next week's catalog by Friday night sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes Saturday, and that's including Potterheads and everything. So that's pretty good. It is pretty good deal for $1 a month.
Get into it.